K Road
How's this? Great.
Testing, investing, and nesting. Well, that's pretty cool.
Testicles.
Testicles.
Can you just say something again?
Walk Jam Nitty Gritty, you're talking to the boy from the big bad city. This is Jam Mike.
Hey, Six.
Kia ora.
Thanks for being on this podcast.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I've been trying to hunt you down for a few days now, driving past K Road.
I'm not that hard to find.
I know, but I was like, oh, it's been 3 days now and I haven't found you, so I went on the
3 days.
yeah without
Such
seeing
commitment.
Yeah, so I went on the K Road Chronicle Facebook page and got your phone number.
Cool.
Yeah.
I must take that off.
Yeah, this podcast, by the way, is called The Resetters.
The Resetters, which we will be promoting on the K Road Chronicles.
Woo! Yeah, it started with my friend Devin and I during lockdown. We had to, every night, you know, during level 4, we're like staying up late, watching movies, drinking wine, and we were kind of leaving the lounge in a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
So the flatmates were like, hey, can you guys reset the lounge before you go to bed?
Well, as you can see, I'm a bit of a minimalist.
Yeah, easy to reset.
So,
here.
I mean, I know this is audio, but for all you listeners out there, there's me sitting in my little Art Deco throne.
Yep.
To my right is my television. It's a very humble little flat screen. My PlayStation. And that's really about it, apart from about a shitload of mirrors.
You can really see yourself in those.
I've got a real thing for mirrors.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love mirrors. You know, they're magical. You know, mirror, mirror on the wall.
Makes this room bigger too. As it
Yeah,
looks
and
like.
that's the other side of it. It reflects light, and you know, I'm into photography, and it's the study of light. And
Yeah, I've got a thing for lamps. I actually went to K Road today to try buy a lamp, but I went to the city mission shop, and they're like charging about as much as it would for a brand new one.
I know, what's that about?
I said, "What's the charity? Isn't it partly the charity for the people who are coming in to get stuff cheap?"
You know, paper bag princess.
Right.
You know, go there, man. Like I mean, I don't want to be disparaging.
Don't want to bag on them.
Don't want to bag on them, but you know, the paper bag princess, man. That's where it's at.
Oh, right. You're saying they're good.
They're fantastic.
Oh, okay. Right.
Actually, a lot less expensive.
Right. Then I forget that the op shops also sell clothes.
I mean, if you want a t-shirt, go to the op shops. But if you want something stylish that's not going to cost you a fortune, you know, Thriftway, paper bag princess, people being people, they're great shops.
I haven't been to People Being People, but I like that sign.
Yeah, I don't know. I think...
And there's like there's like homeless people sitting right underneath that sign.
people being homeless people.
Yeah, exactly, in Auckland.
No, but Kim is actually a really big supporter of the Chronicle, and she sponsored my wardrobe in the second season of the K Road Chronicles, and, you know, we love you, Kim.
Right. For anyone listening, the reason that I've hunted down Six is because they have a publication called K Road Chronicle, which is, why don't you tell you know much more about it since it's your baby.
Well, you know, I mean, where do I start? I bought the dream. I bought the idea that you go to university, you get your degree, you get your high-level qualifications, you get the good job.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Surprise, surprise.
You know, I gave everything. I lost everything. I completed my postgraduate while sleeping on the street. And I still couldn't get a fucking job for love or money.
And you studied journalism.
Studied journalism. I've got the Diploma of Journalism from Waikato Institute of Technology. I've got a postgraduate Diploma of Journalism from Auckland University of Technology. I was Alumni of the Year 2015, 2017. Waikato University Press named me one of New Zealand's top 10 non-fiction writers.
Well, it's funny you said that you didn't achieve the dream because you are a journalist now. You've got your own publication.
Yeah, but I'm still struggling.
Right.
It's really hard to keep those printers rolling. My it's really important to keep the unit cost as low as possible. But
it seems quite ethical too. Like you said, you use vegetable oil and
vegetable-based oil. We use the resew machine. So it's kind of a cross between a photocopier and an offset printer. It creates a rice paper plate. It's a bit like screen printing. Really good for volumes up to about 10,000 prints. Once you get above 10,000, it becomes more cost effective to do offset printing. But, the whole kaupapa of the Chronicle is cheap and cheerful.
Right.
Keep it a bit punk rock.
Yeah.
Keep it a bit rough. Keep it a bit in your face.
And what was the impetus behind starting the K Road Chronicle?
I guess it was a combination of a number of things. I developed a bit of a reputation for gonzo journalism.
Nice.
And people would compare it. And if you don't know what gonzo journalism is,
Hunter S. Thompson. I was
Hunter
thinking that.
S. Thompson, Tom Wolfe.
Tom Wolfe, yeah.
Very 1960s, where the journalist becomes very much part of the story.
Yeah, they put themselves in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote a series of stories that got me a bit of attention, and they were little stories I did on my little 150 Vespa, and I used to take it all over the country and write these stories about it.
Oh, cool.
And then I adapted that style to when I was on the street, and I started writing about my life on the street, and that got me a bit of a following. And I kind of realized that, if you're gonna make money in journalism, you've got to own the rights to the production. You've got to print your own shit.
Right.
And everyone's like, go down the internet. The internet this, the internet that. But people have really responded to the whole analog approach of a little newspaper you can slip in your back pocket.
Yeah.
There's short stories. There
Orangutan man? Orangutan man or something.
Orangutan is a nonsense, honestly. It's just it was just a bit of fun.
Yeah. I like the connect the dots you've got in the publication.
Yeah, we like to do erotic connect the dots.
Erotic. I've never done that before.
Who does not love connect the dots, though?
Yeah, especially when it's erotic.
Yeah.
I found some of them that was kind of obvious what you're about to draw, but you still draw it. I want to see.
Yeah, no, it's like, and it might seem silly having the dad jokes and the
No, that's great.
and the join the dots, but the longer you can keep someone engaged, with the paper, then
You're winning.
you're winning.
Yeah.
Because they might be doing join the dots, but down the bottom of the page there's a wee advert for Verona Cafe or Open Cafe and you might not be reading that. You're doing the join the dots or you're doing the crossword or you're reading the dad jokes. But that registers.
Yeah.
And that's the ugly truth about publishing. You need advertisers.
Yeah, I guess if you were doing it online, where you're really going to get the money from anyway, because you'd have to just have, yeah, you'd have adverts on, but it's not the same, like.
Oh look, I've got the, we've got the Instagram, we've got the Facebook, there's the website,
But the money's coming from the paper publication. I mean, not that you're making heaps of money.
I don't know where the money's coming from, honestly. It's like every time I produce an issue, it's like, how do we pay for that? And I think there's still some of my sponsors going, how did you pay for that?
Yeah.
But, it's like, I do get a little bit of an income out of the Facebook and that stuff, but it's negligible.
Oh, you do get some out of the Facebook?
It's growing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When I did my postgraduate, I really looked at alternative methods of funding public interest journalism. And the theory of blogs and citizen journalism stands up. But in practice, not so much. Because you've got a huge audience. You've got a huge amount of clutter. And when you open the Chronicle, there's no pop-up screens.
Yeah.
There's no downloads. There's no, fill out a survey. We do invite you to contribute. But for me, if I can cover my costs, it's okay if you don't pay. Yeah, because I'll give out 10 or 20 copies of the Chronicle, and then one person will give me $5 or $10.
Yeah, I noticed that you often, because the FPOS society, like, don't have change often, but you're like, just take it, later.
Look, I fundamentally believe people are good people. And people want this information. People want a ringaman. And the reality is, there's a cost to that. So, one day you'll bring me a coffee. Or I'll get free tickets to a concert. It's the whole Kohar economy.
Yeah, love it.
I don't want to pester you to say you have to pay this much. I want you to volunteer that. I want you to be to be a part of this.
Yeah. How many do you print usually per?
2,000 copies.
Oh yeah.
So they're 6 A4 pages, folded in half, which produces 24 A5 pages.
Ah, right. So each episode's 24 pages?
24 pages.
Oh, yeah.
So the unit cost of each black and white copy produced on my copier is around $500. There are a few variables involved.
All right, for 2,000.
That's for 2,000 copies printed on my resew machine. If I were to do 2,000 copies on a standard black and white photocopier, that'd be about 15 to 20 cents per issue.
All right. I don't know how much that is once you
times it by 2,000.
More.
Yeah. So it's really important to keep those costs down. And that, I had somebody come to me recently and goes, I bet you can't wait till the Chronicle's a big glossy magazine. I would hate that.
Right. Yeah,
I would hate that. I like the idea that you go round to your mate's place and you go, oh, fuck, I haven't seen this one.
Yeah.
It's like a special club. It's a subculture.
Oh. Yeah, it's like the zines, with the old punk days. You don't really see zines
I'm a bit
anymore.
precious. I don't like to think of my paper as a zine.
Because a zine can be anything, but yours is it specifically a chronicle, or what do you, define it as?
I spend a lot of time humming and hawing about, what am I going to call this fucking paper?
Because it works, with the assonance or alliteration to the...
Yeah,
Chronicle.
I don't know. It was just
Documentation of the
at the end of the day, I was like, it doesn't fucking matter what it's called. It could be called the K Road sticking chewing gum. I mean, have you ever? You're a musician, eh?
Yeah.
And sometimes you get together with some mates, and you spend fucking weeks deciding on what your band name's gonna be.
Oh fuck! My band is called Nameless because we couldn't come up with a name before the gig, and so the gig was like the next day. The guy's like, "What's your name? I got to put you on the poster." We're like, fuck it, Nameless.
You just go in circles, and nothing seems good.
All the good ones are gone.
And I was just like, "Fuck it, K Road Chronicle." That's what it is.
Boom.
I don't love the title.
Right.
I don't love the masthead.
Like the email you chose in the 90s.
But now we've got a brand following, and it's as good as any.
It's good.
It might as well be called the K Road piece of shit, to be honest.
Or the K Road fucking awesome publication.
No, it's not about being awesome. It's about being a bit
It's just
shit.
a side product. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, because it's not a perfect glossy.
It's not a perfect glossy
It is punk,
paper. It reflects our society, our K Road society.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a bit rough.
That's what you're trying to show.
It's a bit dodgy around the edges.
Yeah.
We write stories about hookers and drug dealers and about fucking men.
Yeah, because you're calling attention to, these social issues that are maybe people don't want to look at.
Everybody deserves to have their story told. I believe in that. I believe in the value of sharing our stories. That's how we build our worldview. That's how we
empathize.
build. The National Archives are now collecting the Chronicle, the gallery.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
cool.
the
Great.
gallery. In 100 years' time, our grandchildren, future generations, are going to be able to read this shit.
Right, because it's archived.
It's archived.
Right, yeah. You don't have a digital version of it, though. They keep the physical copy.
No.
They don't digitize it either.
No, I try not to digitize it.
Because that just like going against the whole thing we've been talking about.
It's about being special. It's about being paper. I never really understood Fairfax and stuff when they started putting their newspapers online. It was like, why would you give away your product?
Save money.
Yeah, but you devalue your product.
Yeah.
I think at the moment we're producing 2,000 copies a month. And when you break it down, I think that's a really good number because...
A month, so that's a publication a month as well? Right, one issue every month.
One issue every month. 2,000 copies. And that seems to be about right to be
getting through them.
It seems to be sustainable at that level. Once you start going over that, you start saturating the market, and you devalue your product.
Right. Huh.
Like for the last couple of months, I haven't actually published a K Road Chronicle.
Right.
But the last couple of days, I've been out there with a couple of back issues and people have been all over me. So it's like drug dealers. Christmas, New Year's is always really hard to get weed. Because they withhold it from the market.
I thought this because they sold out early.
No.
They're purposely withholding it.
They purposely withhold it from the
just
market.
So they're going to come back later and...
Well, first of all, so you buy early.
Right, stock up.
And then when there's it's supply and demand. When there's not many around, it raises the value of the product.
Right, like during lockdown.
Yeah, so it's like, it's like there's no weed around. You buy a tin of it, it's a bit shit, but
hey,
that's all you
got.
get. And that's the same philosophy with the Chronicle. Yeah, I mean, if it was available at every counter in every store for free,
Yeah.
You saturate the market. And
Right. Like
suddenly
the coffee news.
you make it common. Oh, please do not use the coffee news.
I can bleep that out if you want.
No, it's just the coffee news is just such a nonsense.
Yeah, it's just I'm waiting for my fish and chips. I need to read something because I'm bored and my phone battery's dead.
But have you read it?
Yeah. I like the trivia.
How do you even know that shit's true? Like, I mean,
I don't, yeah.
last time I read coffee news, it was about some Russian woman that changed her name to some supermarket chain to win a competition.
Okay.
First of all, why do I fucking care? And second of all, how do I even know that's true?
Yeah. Does it matter anyway?
Well, it does. It does matter.
Yeah. Fucking coffee news. What's the opposite of a plug? Not talking about it.
Well, no, I'm happy to talk about. A lot of people do compare the K Road Chronicle to the coffee news, and it's like, have you read the coffee news?
Yeah, it's totally different. The only thing you can compare the K Road Chronicle publication to is the K Road Chronicle web series.
Well.
The major difference I noticed was that the K Road Chronicle web series really focuses on an individual story. Like one episode, it's about a prostitute, another one's about specifically a homeless guy, or the next one, it's about somebody, I can't remember now, but I was amazed. Like each week you find someone really interesting to zoom in on.
Look, I was really fortunate to work with some really talented people. And
because if you're saying like the K Road Chronicle publication is kind of rough and punk, the web series is very polished. Actually, comes off very professional looking.
It is, but it was really important to me too when we did the series that it reflected the values of the Chronicle.
Well, I'd say it does that by focusing, the people that it focuses on are, the rough and.
Yeah, well, I don't have really anything to do with the money side of that, but I think it was like $250,000 or something.
What went into the season 1 and 2? You're on season 3 now.
Yeah, we're looking at producing a third season. I mean, there's always a lot of talk about these things, but I would personally really like to look at the link between mental health and poverty.
Well, yeah, surely you can't have much of a healthy mind when you're struggling financially. That's a stressor.
I mean, I used to think maybe I was intelligent, but now I just think I'm surrounded by morons.
The Dunning-Kruger effect?
Yeah, Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, just thinking back, I mean, I'm 51 years old, and looking back at my life about, mental health and disadvantage seem to go really hand in hand. And, I mean...
Like one feeds the other.
One feeds the other.
Hard to get help if you have mental health. And issues.
And it's almost like the wealthy or the established or the bourgeois are taking advantage of that fact that, let's face it, they have a higher intellect. They have access to
better education,
more resources,
better doctors, or
better doctors,
they can get a therapist. You know how much a therapist costs? It's like 100.
Don't get me on that soapbox. It'll be a whole new podcast.
Right.
But
it's not fucking cheap anyway.
It's not, and it's really hard to access good quality.
And it's so important to have good talking therapy.
Look, we should be talking to kids at primary school, not just about personal hygiene and physical health, but mental health as well. I spent some time in volunteer fire service, and it was a really great experience. And
Fire.
they taught us to look out for our mates. Notice when and that's what we need to do. We need to look out for our mates when they're not coping.
I think because I'm a high school teacher, and I've noticed that the kids these days are way more super aware than when I was at school. Like, I don't even know what the word anxiety was when I was growing up. And these kids, there's so it's statistically true that there's way more depression and anxiety.
I'm really inspired by the kids coming through today. But talking about depression and anxiety, have you heard the music they're listening to? Yeah, we had Nirvana and Pearl Jam.
Hey, what happened to the singer of Nirvana? He had depression and he blew his head off. That's not a great example.
Okay, not a great example. But we were rocking it, man. Yeah, we were singing to the Foo Fighters and U2 and Bon Jovi, and now they're all fucking depressed because then I don't know. But I'm inspired by the young generation as well. They're passionate.
Yeah, they want to save the world because they've been left a shit sandwich.
But we've been doing that too. Like, we're Gen X, right?
Yeah, I'm 81, so I'm the last Gen X in the first millennial.
Yeah, we're Gen X. Yeah, we got totally fucked over by the baby boomers.
Well, yeah.
And and we started that movement. We created the platforms.
There's definitely not that much difference between, say, Gen X and millennial as there is between boomer and Gen X. There's a big paradigm shift there, paradigm shift.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously my parents and, family are boomers, but they're just piggies at the trough. Honestly, they've lived through the best economic times in living history.
Yeah, I get surprised
when free education.
Yeah, and then they took it away from the generation following them.
Yeah,
I get surprised. I have a couple of friends, and they've got parents that are boomers, and then when they tell me that their parents don't own a house and they're renting, I'm like, oh, that's weird. I thought all the boomers, and obviously they don't all, but it's way more than the current generations, owning their own house.
Look, when I was a kid growing up in the 70s and the 80s, a labourer, a pretty average sort of a job, could afford to rent a house, support a family, have a weekend, a holiday at the beach every year. Now, that same guy, his wife's probably working, and we've got people sleeping in vans in South Auckland. Yep. Families.
People sleeping on K Road.
Kids.
That you're,
kids, like, I was talking to a teacher friend of mine, and she was worried about one of the kids that was, like, quite tired in class.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, what's going on? And he was like, it wasn't my turn to sleep in the car last night. What kind of fucking society are we created?
Yeah, well, that's why I love your work, because you're raising awareness of this. People would love to say New Zealand is a very progressive first world country where everyone's treated well and we've got no racism and blah blah blah, but it's just because they don't want to see.
There's no social transition. I mean, if you're born poor, you're gonna be a shit kicker.
Chances are
you're gonna be a shit kicker.
Your kids are gonna be poor too.
Yeah, and I've got friends, and they're like, everybody seems to be a fucking artist these days. It's like they're artists, and it's like they're rich.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
Well, you know what? I've got about an $80,000 student loan. People say, what makes you a journalist? What makes me a journalist primarily is that I produce work of a journalistic standard. But I also invested in my education. I also have the respect of my peers. any fuckwit can call themselves an artist. You know, you put a basketball on a toilet seat, suddenly it's art.
Yeah, that's our mutt, right? The toilet seat.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's not fucking art.
Yeah, if you can use it for the purpose that it was originally made for, it's not art. If you can still shit in it, it's the toilet.
You know what I mean? You know, it's just, you know, basically it's these wealthy people supporting their wealthy kids. And I see it on K Road all the time. You know, I could point out the shops that are owned by trust fund kids. They don't care if they make a profit.
Right.
You know, they've got a shitload of money. They're just there wanking about. And, you know, it's like, oh, yeah, you know, it's like really... And their wealthy parents, friends, buy their bullshit work. But did they work for it?
Big circle jerk.
Big circle jerk.
Yeah.
You know, actually, you know, go out there and find somebody that's producing work of... You know,
I cracked up one day. I was on K Road, and there was this big line. And I said to one of the guys in the line, "What are you guys getting in line for?" And he said, "Red Bull." And I was like, "What do you mean Red Bull? You're not all waiting to get a can of Red Bull." And he's like, "No, it's like a Red Bull event." I'm like, "Who's playing? Who's the artist? Whatever." He's like, "I don't know. It's a Red Bull event. Stop hassling me."
yeah, so I don't know, man. It was just a line. I had to join it. They were doing lines, man. I had to be there.
Yeah. I was just doing what everyone else is doing. This is the cool thing.
You know, I think as Kiwis, we kind of have this built-in bullshit detector.
Some of us do.
I think it's pretty well ingrained in a lot of us, and it's like, just so much of the world is bullshit.
Is that why we always say, yeah, nah?
Yeah, nah.
Because, like,
Nobody
we have to, like, preface it by
it.
saying no and yes, because pretty sure there's some bullshit there going on there.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. Yeah, now, let's take a little break.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. Oh, no, I do listen to some of his stuff. But,
Ba-dum. Do you think, you know when you get off the bus and you like always thank the bus driver, always go, "Thank you, driver."
Yeah. That's a real Kiwi thing.
It is a Kiwi thing, or is it just, do people do that?
No, I used to teach English at like a school full of international students, and they were like always really surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, driver.
Yeah.
I always do it.
Yeah, it's good. There's something, perhaps, in the Kiwi idea, of how you're supposed to act socially is to respect old jobs to some extent. Even bus drivers get paid minimum wage. Maybe not old jobs, but at least the bus driver gets the thanks.
You know what though? If flying is safer than driving, why don't bus drivers get paid more than pilots?
Yeah, I don't know. It's more fun to fly a plane?
I don't know.
Yeah, I got a friend who I just visited in Wellington. He was a bus driver. Yeah, I can edit this out, but he got fired for like skimming the money off the top.
Of course you would.
Yeah, because he's getting paid minimum wage, and the guy's like, "Oh, you're fucking fired, man. You can quit, or we'll take you to court." He's like, "Yeah, I'll quit." And like, "Yeah, where am I gonna find another minimum wage job?" Yeah, well, I know we wanted to pay you more, but blah blah blah.
I think bus drivers should be paid more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they've got all those people's lives in their hands.
Everybody needs it,
And you know what I find too? It's the bus drivers are like really genuinely good people. They're happy. You know what I mean? How many times have I jumped on the bus and it's like, oh fuck, I've got no credit on my AT card. And like, no worries. Yeah,
that's nice. You're kind of a celebrity in Auckland, though. They'll be like, "Oh shit, there's 6. I better give them a free ride. Otherwise they'll fucking tell people I'm no good."
No.
How about your name, Six? I like that name.
You know, people often ask me, why 6?
Mm.
And
Like I just did.
Yeah, well, in a roundabout way. But there's a million reasons, and there's no real reason. It's just kind of like a marketing thing, to be honest.
It's like the K Road Chronicle. You just like went with it. Like that's good enough.
Well, I used to do a lot of work. How do I phrase this? I used to knock around the peripherals of a lot of sex workers.
Mm.
And they all used to use these pseudonyms.
Yeah.
And I was like, your pseudonym offers you no protection.
Right.
You are that person.
Mm.
So I kind of started using the name Six because I was writing about them.
Right.
As almost a character, and then...
Yeah.
The
Gonzo style.
Yeah. And my whole philosophy kind of backfired on me.
How so?
Well, it was meant to be give me a
Ah.
certain level of anonymity.
Oh, it was supposed to at the time. You thought it would because you thought it was giving it to
Well,
them.
I mean, you put 6 in the Google and you get like, 1 billion hits.
Yeah.
Despite my public profile, and
Right. The name has given you.
I'm actually quite a private person.
Right.
I like my private time.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me into your private space.
Well,
Nice to be here.
you bought wine, so
I don't know that would easy. I might come here every day
yeah.
if I'm not careful.
Turn up with wine and a smile, and you're always welcome.
Yeah. You got to smile because it's contagious, and that means the opposite is also true.
Yeah, I'm not a natural smiler. And I make an effort to smile. And if I can't smile, I just let the middle of my mouth sag a bit.
I'm just doing that now. It doesn't make you look like a smile.
I mean...
Or you do the thing, you push your bottom lip on your front teeth, kind of
No.
like your foot. No, you don't do that. And you raise your eyebrows, you're like, Just like the one smile would be like, I'm happy. Like when you pass someone that you're working with or something.
There's always a way to react to something. You can... the thing is, nothing really exists. The past, nothing more than a memory. If a photograph...
The past is a memory, not the past.
It's what is it? What is the past? What is yesterday?
It's your subjective
a
memory
clip
of
on
it.
Facebook, something recorded, a memory, doesn't exist.
That's why I stopped using it, because I realized it was kind of an inauthentic reality I was manifesting. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I'd rather focus on my real reality.
Oh, look, I mean, the internet has its place. But it's just, the internet was invented as a means of sharing information between academics, interested parties, and now it's just become,
Everything.
It's just a cesspool of
Too much.
narcissism, and sexual predators, and
Because everyone's always on it, you get everything.
oh look, 10 years ago you go to Verona Cafe, be people sitting outside having a coffee, you'd join them, you'd talk. There was now everyone's sitting there staring at their phone. I don't know what they're looking at.
They're telling
Probably
people...
the K Road Chronicle.
They're looking at the photo that they took of themselves there.
Yeah. It's like, I was at a cafe the other day and the waiter came up to me and goes, is everything all right with your food? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And it's like, well, why haven't you taken a photo of it yet?
Oh, shit. That didn't really happen.
No, it didn't
Good
really
one.
happen.
You almost had me, though.
It's like, honestly, I've seen food before.
Yeah, I am not sure if they do it though. Not all of them do it to post it. I think some people just they want to like when they get hungry, they just look at it and be like, "Oh yeah, I ate that. That was fucking good."
No, look, if it's an amazing meal, I mean, if you've been to Bambina and Newmarket and got the French toast and it comes out and it's amazing. The presentation is fantastic. Yeah, take a photo. But fuck pancakes. I've seen pancakes before.
But when was the last time you had pancakes?
That's a good question.
Then you're like, I gotta take a photo because
Yeah.
I've never taken a photo of a pancake before. You should be allowed to take like one photo of each meal in your life. You can't do.
What's your favourite meal? What's your like last meal? Like death sentence is your
good
last
question.
meal.
Shit, man. I don't have a great sense of smell, so I think it affects my taste a little bit. Or it's a hard question for me. But just first thing that comes to my mind would just be fried rice.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I lived in Indonesia for many years, and just
This
ate
is
that a
your
lot.
last meal.
Fuck. Last meal.
It's like
I'm not hungry right now, so I can't think of it. But
you're getting executed. You're getting your brains
okay,
fried out.
oysters. I just have oysters.
Oysters?
Yeah,
Don't you think they look like little vaginas?
that's why I like them.
I don't eat seafood.
You like eel and eel. Okay, I'll get eel as well. So
No.
it's both.
Oh, see, this conversation is taking a whole
Yeah,
dark
sorry.
turn. now.
We edit this out. Fuck. You answer it. Maybe you inspire me.
Oh, I'm real boring. I'd probably have a toasted sandwich, to be honest. I could live it on toasted cheese sandwiches. Cheese and onion. Yeah, cheese and onion sandwiches. And,
Whatever they're serving at Do Good Cafe. Is that what it's called? Do Good?
Merge Cafe.
Merge Cafe. Yeah.
Yeah. Merge
They're good.
Cafe.
I've been there. I think I didn't do well in my last relationship because on her birthday I took her to Merge Cafe because I was so impressed that there was this place where you could like pay $5 and it was like helping the homeless and you would get like a real nice meal.
Yeah.
But I went there on the weekend and they're like, oh, you can't even buy a meal. You can only take a meal for free.
Yeah.
And so I was like, how cool is this place? And they just give it to everyone on the street. And she was like,
Not the girl for you.
yeah, she was like, this. She was thinking, why are we at a real nice expensive restaurant? And then it wasn't until later I realized that I fucked up.
Yeah. Well, that was a good sign. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's why I think it stuck with me. Because it is an amazing thing what they do there at Merge
You know what
Cafe.
you do?
Giving free meals.
Very limited. Like if you're on a limited budget, do the art exhibition shit. You know, you go into Art Story. There's something open every night. It's free wine and nibbles.
Yeah. I know a guy who does
free
that.
wine and nibbles.
Yeah. I know a guy.
You
who
walk around and go,
and
yeah,
then,
it's fucking art.
there's like fucking 5 a week.
At least.
Yeah. And I don't know who's paying for. They'll get the money from the painting, or not paintings. It's just any art, right? All the art shows they
the
have
whole
to have.
art world is bullshit.
There's like 8 art
It's
studios
like,
on K Road. I think.
oh,
I don't know.
I don't want to.
That I know of. You know.
Just the whole art world to me.
Just from this guy.
Just complete
I know
bullshit.
he goes to all the. He's like he kept inviting me.
Yeah. It's like free wine and nibbles, man.
Yeah,
You walk
kept inviting
around-
me for ages. I'm like, I like wine and that, but I don't want to walk
They have
all
beer.
the way to. Usually it's just wine. Oh, yeah, no, some of them. I used to live next to Object Space, right across the road there, like a student flat, and they
I think
always
it's-
have big tables
I
of
think
beer.
it's objet de space.
Oh, is it? And the people that live next to me were right in front of it, and the light from their artwork, this big kind of cross, is so bright at nighttime that if you're on the front porch of that house, it's fucking terrible, and it shines in their bedroom. But Object Space is more concerned about having this art lit, despite the fact that people are trying to go to fucking sleep.
Oh, look, it's
Use
a fantastic scam, man. You go to an art story almost every night of the week, turn out free wine and nibbles. And you just walk around, and it's like there's guys there, and like, look, I mean, I should really improve my look because more often than not, I look like a stoner on my way to the beach.
Right.
But you know, you turn up.
Some people feel a bit out of place there. They're like, I'm actually just here for the wine. And
I'm
the
just
drink
here for
and
the wine,
food."
man. I don't know nothing about that.
And they're like, well, that's actually okay.
But I've got 3 art exhibitions in the next like couple of months.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even a fucking artist.
Tell us about them.
There's RM Gallery, which is they asked me to take some photos and talk about.
Did they? Cool.
Yeah.
Photos of
Community.
Nice.
What community? So it's like photos
'cause
around.
I forgot. Yeah, you're like photojournalist, so you also do photography. And
Yeah, I
writing.
like photography.
Oh no, because you do for the K Road Chronicle. You always have cool photos.
Thanks.
I remember the one of like I like the close-ups of people's faces.
Yeah.
Face tells just like so much.
Yeah, it does.
That was a funny one of like 3 people doing like a NOS balloon for one. I remember that one.
Classic cover.
Yeah.
That was a great cover. But you know, I always, almost always ask people if I can take their photos. I mean, there's a protocol involved.
Sure.
I did get beaten up one night.
Did you? Oh, it's taking you. Oh, all right.
There was this group of guys, and they were sitting on the side of the road, and I was like, they look quite cool. And I went out to them and I said, hey, do you guys mind if I take a photo of you? And they're like, nah, get fucked, fuck you, blah, blah, blah.
Shit.
And then one of the guys goes, oh, yeah, no, you can take a photo of me. So I took a photo of him, and I was using digital, and I offered him to have a look at the photo. And he fucking smacks me in the face.
What the fuck?
That's exactly what I said.
Fucking
I
hell.
was like, dude.
Have you still got the photo? Because then you could show that to the cops.
Fortunately, the cops were driving past. But
Damn. Lucky.
yeah.
Fuck. So that guy, is he in jail for that?
Nah. People don't go to jail for that shit. Honestly, he probably...
I know a woman, actually, I just met the other day, and she was walking down Auckland, Otara. She had her cell phone on her. Someone ran up and grabbed it from her, and she fought back, and the guy hit her and punched her in the face. And then luckily there happened to be like a police officer next door or something. And that guy went to jail for 2 years and 3 months.
Yeah, male assaults female.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, female assaults male, nothing.
Right.
Yeah, I actually got assaulted. I got a couple of stalkers, which is part of the wonderful thing about being notorious or, you know, well known. And one of my stalkers actually attacked me on the bus. And I called the police. And they said, oh, you know, nothing we can do about it. But if I'd attacked her,
Right.
you know, it's a different story. All of a sudden it becomes male attacks female.
Yeah.
And that's a serious crime. And I said to the cop when I reported it, it's like, so I can't even defend myself. And they're like, no.
Okay.
Bullshit, eh?
What if she did something like really hurtful, like stabbed you?
Well,
Then with maybe deadly intent or something is a different level.
well, that's the thing. You know, this girl is insane. She thinks we're in some sort of relationship. She's like vandalized my mailbox. She's put dog poo in my mailbox.
That's scary. Oh, that's gross.
She's like graffitied my office in town. She attacked me on the bus. But you know what?
Fuck.
You know, it's like, what am I meant to do?
I honestly don't know.
I do.
Yeah. She's gonna get dog poo on her letterbox.
Well, it's not going to. It's been done, and
It's not nice.
I just, you know, any further comment may incriminate myself.
Yeah. No, thanks for being on this podcast. And if there's anything later you're like, oh, don't put that on, or
Nah, look, it's fine. I've been around this block long enough.
yeah, true. Actually, you actually can give me some good advice, because basically what I'm doing is like low level journalism.
It's not low level. This is like cutting edge.
What?
This is forefront journalism. This is what
thanks.
journalism's become now.
Yeah, I'm more interested maybe in.
Yeah,
the
I have these.
I get to choose who I interview rather than being told.
Yeah, look, I have these fancy journalism qualifications. But you don't have to go to university to be a journalist. There's some legal things you do need to know. There's some structural stuff that's helpful. But you just go out there, get the story, and fuck, I'm always happy to share the kaupapa, eh?
Cool, thank you. Yeah. It's been really fun doing this podcast with
Does
you.
this mean I can call you like my protege? Or
Yeah, man.
you're my protege now?
Sure, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you're my bitch now.
Yeah. What? Who should I interview next? I'm
Chloe.
don't really. Oh,
Chloe
yeah.
Schwarber.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool. She's really cool.
Yeah. Well, you know her.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, hey, I did
we're mates,
I did a
man.
podcast with Six.
Yeah.
Would you consider?
She'll be fine.
Cool.
No, I could put a good word in for
Oh
her.
yeah. Oh nice. Yeah, that would be good.
She loves me.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got voted
My
first time to
biggest
get a
fan of
green.
K Road Chronicle.
Yeah, she's popular too in
Oh,
Central Auckland.
she's lovely. She really is.
Yeah.
You know what Chloe's
great.
problem is? That she's so intelligent, and like some people just don't react well to that.
Right. Yeah. Especially when politicians are often like supposed to be like everyman kind of. Well, I don't know. The economy will be.
You know the difference between the beehive and a hedgehog? Hedgehog's got the pricks on the outside.
I knew it was gonna be something about pricks. Yeah, good one.
I love hedgehogs.
You know, the first time I found a hedgehog, I was, leaving my home from the West Coast to Christchurch to visit my grandmother when I was a kid, and then we looked out the window at nighttime in bedroom, and there was a hedgehog in the back lawn, and we couldn't believe it.
I love hedgehogs.
We
They're
ran
cool.
out, and we're like, we're never gonna catch this hedgehog because we'd never seen one before. We just assumed they were like sheep, And but we caught this fucking hedgehog. We were like, it was like really easy to get it. Just pick it up.
Yeah.
And so we took it inside, and we were like, hey,
They don't really run.
look at this. We caught a hedgehog. And they were all like freaking out that it was going to make us sick and give us some disease. And we were like really confused. Like, we've done this amazing thing. Made a friend of a hedgehog.
No, they're really good because they eat slugs and snails. They're really good for the garden.
My flatmate kills them because
no.
they also eat native bird eggs.
That's bullshit. How are they going to climb a tree?
I think there's some that lay their eggs like lower,
Like
And
what?
like, I don't know, like the takahe, pukiko.
See
those
any
kind of like
takes or pukikos? No.
I don't know. There's zoos right over there. There's like a bunch of nesting birds over there. But I see what you're
There's
saying.
the
Like
zoo.
that there shouldn't be precedent one animal over the other. But I do feel if it is a native bird and if they are threatened and there's an introduced species.
There's those seabirds, the ones at the beach, and there's no birds laying their fucking eggs out there. The rats would get them.
True, the rats. The ducks eggs.
Who gives a fuck about ducks?
That's just an example of one bird. Yeah.
I think you're grasping at straws.
I think I am, yeah.
I'm
But
starting-
I'll put that to my flatmate who sets the hedgehogs traps because he doesn't set the traps for the hedgehogs. He sets them for the rats and the stoats, but they
Get a cat.
invariably get the.
What stoats? Stoats? Where do you live?
You're like save the hedgehog fund.
Save the hedgehog,
Right.
man.
That's the cool thing about
When
your
was the
publication
last
is you
time
can.
you saw a stoat?
Do you ever feel that like that in your? I mean, because it's gonzo journalism, so you could easily put in your publication. Save the hedgehogs, and you'd be
I'm
reaching.
going to do that.
You'd be like reaching.
Next issue, a man's on a mission to
Right.
save the hedgehog.
Right.
I'm going to invent a hedgehog super character.
Nice.
This hedgehogs actually. I'm going to have words with you.
That could be a good adversary too for a kind of orangutan man because they're so spiky.
Hedgehogs are cool.
He could defeat orangutan man. What do you think?
No, nobody can defeat a emu.
Right. Are you who's writing all these orangutan stories? I think you're writing a lot of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Right? Yeah. Because you're like, anybody, please take over.
Please write an episode of Orangutan.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, it's like.
Yeah. Look, let's do the plug here. If you actually want to contribute to the story of Orangutan, you just have to
please
send an email.
Write it. Even if it was, doesn't make any sense.
What's the email address though?
Well, my Honey Stompson, she's my editor for that. So that's hensonmistypooh at gmail.com. HENSONMIST. Just get a magazine, it's in there.
Right. And
hensonmistypooh.
Anything, if you want to add anything, you want to send any contribution, send it to her.
The more nonsensical, the better.
Like, not even just orangutan though. Can anybody send in like a short story or a photo? Or
yeah.
Actually, I did send in a photo. I sent in a photo of my friend wearing the K Road Chronicle T-shirt.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, and you printed it in the issue.
I think we printed that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see that. Yeah.
Get on board.
Yeah.
Get your 5 seconds of fame. Henson Misty. Just log on to the kroadchronicle.news. All the links are on there. Get a copy of the paper. Just fucking Google it. You'll find it.
Cool. Should we wrap it up?
Should we do a wrap?
Okay, do a wrap. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. It's been a day. It's been a night. It's been an evening. It's been all right. We've done some talking. We've done some stalking. And now it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing on the resetters.
Boyakasha.
Thank you.
Worst rap ever.
Cheers.
Cheers.